everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing really well and that you're in the mood for some kind of creepy Halloween vibe going on. And especially, well, I really hope that, like me, you are a big fan of, Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel and True Blood and stuff like that. Because the books I have for you today will help you get into that Halloween spooky season vibe and definitely remind you a little bit of some of those shows. I am totally enjoying this season. As you can tell, I decorate. I've got the blanket. I got a little extra back support in the coolest new pillow. And, the skulls on the shirt. And I even got the scent going because I love this. It's cinnamon swirl pecan. And, usually if you get anything cinnamony, it kind of, to me, it's usually like an overwhelming scent. I love cinnamon, I love apples, and the smell of that, it's very much fall and creepy time, but it's usually overwhelming. This one I'm really liking. And I'm sorry, but I've got a hair on my glasses that's tickling my nose. So without further ado, let's get into it. I've got a couple books for you. The first one is Halfway to the Grave by Janine Frost. And it's awesome. It's a Night Hunters novel, and it definitely gives some, Buffy vibes. It's a 7-book series, and there are a couple spin-offs. I've read one of them, and there's supposed to be a second one coming out soon, where it's told from her husband's point of view. And it reminds me of Buffy, because our main hero, Kat, is this, vampire hunter chick that's way stronger and more badass than you would expect to look at this tiny little girl. But she also ends up on a butt-kicking team with a vampire that she's got a relationship with, even though she hated him at the start. So, I'm not going to tell you how that happens. You have to read the series for it. But it is so much friggin' fun. We start off with her trolling the bars to, basically lure in these idiot vampires. And then, act like she's gonna get a little fun with them. And then, off them while they're distracted because they're vampires, but they're still dudes. They're gonna go for a cute little girl and, leather and miniskirts. Until she tries the wrong one, and she lives through it, but she's pissed off about it. Because she's stronger than she should be, because it turns out she is half vampire. And, basically decided her life is forfeit. She doesn't care, because her dad's been nowhere, and her mom hates her guts, because she's half vampire. And she wasn't a willing baby, so her mom has punished her for who her dad is from the get-go. And now she's vampire hunter, leads a team, and is hooking up with the vampire. So, it's messed up. I love it. It's just, oh my god, it's so much fun. There's a reason I actually own the entire series. Definitely have to check that out. The second one I have for you, I'm kind of hesitant to recommend. I've mentioned one of her books before. It's Laurel K. Hamilton and Guilty Pleasures, which that name sounds really dirty. Trust me, it's not. This series, last I checked, was 27 odd books. And our main character runs the gamut from, this is the first book where she is ultra prude, to I quit reading them at 13 or 14, because it went from that to, well, you know how most vampires need blood to live? It's not her fault that she needs daily orgies. Her vampire boyfriend turned her into a sex vampire. Yeah. And she starts, he owns strip clubs and whatnot, which is what Guilty Pleasures is the name of the club that her, not initially willing to be boyfriend, the vampire Jean-Claude, he owns this club, and she's hooking up with his strippers that he knows about it, because they're complaining to him that, he needs to hire more, because they're tired of having to, feed her. Because, most vampires need blood. She needs male fluids by the end of this series, at least where I quit reading it. And we also get, like, the book that I read and reviewed for y'all earlier this year, it ticked me off because she's supposed to be this, badass, monster hunter. And in some of the books she is. And the one I read earlier this year, she was more concerned with, I am woman, hear me roar! And only survived by sheer dumb luck, because her showing off that she's a woman, she don't need no man, she can do it herself, made her to the point that if she'd had to throw a punch or run or do anything, she'd have been dead. Like, the guys wanting to kill her should have just watched her a little bit and waited for her to load up to have one of her, I am fierce woman moments, and they could have offed her, because she would go to the point of, I'm going to prove how tough I am by, nobody can help me. Don't open the door, don't hold a bag, nothing. I need to not be able to, raise my arms or reach my weapons or turn or run or do anything. So, but I remember really enjoying these in high school and early college, so I'm hoping that these are actually good, at least in the beginning. And just the character she runs, just the gambit of everything, being from badass to stupid to prude to, oh my god, this is just supernatural erotica with a hint of a plot. So, this one, she wasn't quite so, stupid and obnoxious in this one, because it's the very first book. She hasn't gotten cocky. She's, very innocent, but very, monster hunter, and she's basically, our character is Anita Blake, and she raises zombies for a living. So, there, we've got vampires, we've got werewolves, we've got necromancers, we've obviously got zombies. It's a hit or miss series, but I guarantee, depending on what you like out of a book, so long as you want monsters as a base, there's one somewhere in there for you. So, maybe check it out, maybe not. But I would look at the specific titles, but just Laurel K. Hamilton and Anita Blake in general. Now, I know some of y'all have to be True Blood fans. So, I'm gonna make you happy and hurt your feelings at the same time if you've only ever seen the show, and be really mad that there's a sticker on this cover that I'm struggling to get off right now, because what kind of sadist puts a sticker on the front of a book? I mean, if you gotta do it at all, there's a barcode back here, but no, they put it on the front of my book, and it makes me really mad. But other than that, I really like these. It's the Charlaine Harris, Sookie Stackhouse series, which is what True Blood was loosely based off of. They've got the setting, they got the character names, they got the, big plot points mostly. But they changed quite a lot. So if you think you know this series just because you watched True Blood, and I can't say I blame you, because, some of those guys were hot. Oh my gosh. I will admit to watching that show, it's initially I was interested because I'd read the books, and then I just started watching it because I liked watching Eric. So, oops. But now you get to see a lot more of Eric and the fairies. You get, you still get Bill, who, you still kind of want to punch him in the face because he's old school, stupid, and boring sometimes. And if he wasn't the first vampire that walked into the bar, he probably would not have been it. I never liked him, but we see a lot more of why she hooked up with him and why she eventually didn't. And this is one, I think there was 7 seasons of True Blood. There's 13 books. So there is a lot that you miss, a lot that gets changed, but there is enough of, they actually, in the beginning, mostly kept to the books and just added in things that you will recognize it. We've got our, telepath, that Sookie Stackhouse, which is why she likes Bill so much, is she can hear everybody except for him. She can't hear all the crap he's thinking about her, or which would have saved her a lot of trouble if she could have read him, but, after hearing people talk crap about her all her life without them ever saying a word, it was nice to not hear anything and know whether they're just thinking about her boobs or thinking she's crazy or, whatever. So we've got that, and she kind of gets sucked into the vampire world and ends up with the, werewolves, who ends up led by Alicide, who is another one that is hot. Ooh, I'm glad he was in there, and she definitely should have ditched Bill for him way early on. I definitely would have. We've got some, were-cougars and everything else. By the end of the series, we get, fairies and learn so much about all of this, and it is a very thorough, well-done world. It's definitely, you're still small town Louisiana, so there are some very, not nice things that are said and done and very messed up and not really surprising, but like I said, it's basically kind of we're still in America, it's still modern times, but it's like an alternate universe where the werewolves and all of that is real, and they have, come out to the public, and that's where the title for the TV series came from, is True Blood, is, well, they can come out because humans don't have to be afraid anymore. Now there's True Blood, which is, their synthetic blood that they can now live off of, so they're safe. Except for, dude, they're vampires. They ain't safe. They're just really hot. So this one, if you liked that series and are sad that it ended after a few seasons, and, you didn't get all the information you really would have liked, check this out. I promise, even though it doesn't have the pictures of the guys, it's better than the TV show. You will enjoy it if you loved the HBO version. So, have fun with that one. Now, this is another one that, this series was canceled, and then, she went off on a couple, different series, and then came back to her original. It's Kim Harrison's, The Hollow series. And as you can tell, the main character is a redhead, so yay! Well, one of the main characters, we actually have 3. Our redhead is Rachel, and she's a witch. And then we have Jinx, who, I'm not gonna lie, he's actually my favorite in the series. He is the most foul-mouthed character. He's a little pixie, and don't let the 3-inch, size fool you. He is deadly, and he is sleazy, and just foul-mouthed and fun, and he will fight anybody. But he's actually, he's very mature, especially once you realize that he's actually just a teenager, and he has dozens of children. So, he's a very protective guy, and, actually has weirdly decent, little bits of wisdom that he drops on Rachel on occasion. But I love the way that he cusses. It's usually about Tinkerbell, who's, everybody thinks fairies are hot shit, and it's just because, Disney did Tinkerbell a favor, and she, flashed her little junk and was tricking out for him. So, everybody thinks fairies are cute and sweet, and they're evil little pricks, and the pixies and the, fairies are at war. So, and definitely the fairies are evil, and Jinx's little pixie self is, he's freaking amazing, but it just cracks me up that he, trashes her, and it's, Tink's little red thong is one of his favorite cusses. But we have this trio, we have those two, and then we have Ivy, who is a living vampire, which basically means, her mom had the virus in her, but wasn't, fully turned and dead yet when she popped out Ivy, so she will be a vampire. She's got some of the strength, and she's got the blood urges and the teeth, but she can go out in the daylight and live in a church, which is exactly what they're doing, just to tick off Ivy's mom, because Rachel has, decided to quit the FIB, which is basically, it's the supernatural version of the FBI, and they police all the supernatural in America. And they have all come out. We apparently were neighbors with the witches and the werewolves and the vampires and all of that. And we didn't know until some genetic tomato was loosed and started killing everybody off. Except for, some people would just get, like, zero symptoms at all from eating these deadly tomatoes. Like, oh crap, it's because you're not human, and these were tailored to hurt humans. Which is, like, we have a Hollows prequel. She only did one, and it's The Turn. Which, upon the second time reading it, I liked it. The first time, the main character was just so... she ticked me off. I tried it again a few years later and actually got through it and enjoyed it, but trying to read this younger, I was so mad at how weak she was. And we know, like, especially considering what we hear about that character and later on in this series, the Straight Up Hollows, like, we follow them and they're under attack all the time and basically kind of running their own investigation firm of fighting the bad guys and finding missing people and trying to control the demons. Since right now it's a 16-book series, it was supposed to be 13, and then she decided, alright, I'm done with the Hollows, I'm going on to other stuff, and jumped way into the future, and here's the end. Here's who got happy endings, here's who didn't, and here's why they're happy or upset. And then the last few years she has started writing again, so now we're at 16. So if you pick up this series, read them all, but skip the end of, the book 13, because otherwise it will spoil all the fun, or at least, some of the fun. I still want to know how they got to that happy endings that they got, but, you will already know who lives and who dies, and there are a lot of moments where, like, oh, if I hadn't already read that they were going to be alive 60 years later, I'd be thinking they might bite it right now. Or, oh, this is how they... It's like, is this how they finally bit it? Is this why they weren't there? Wait, nope. Yep, okay, that one. So, yeah, you definitely read this whole friggin' series. Oh my god. You will laugh at Jinx. You will cry. You will cuss. You will cheer when the bad guys get their butts whooped. You will cuss when they don't get their butt kicked fast enough, because bump them, they suck, and they should be biting it instead of being powerful. But you will go through your range of emotions, and you will love it. I mean, there is so much friggin' going on. We've got romance, we've got butt kicking, we've got getting feisty with demons, because I don't care you're a demon, you don't mess with the redheaded witch. And, yeah. She spends a lot of time with the demons and, babysitting those butt heads. So, it's fun, it's crazy. Like, even though I know what's going to happen and who's going to live, I still have been buying the new ones, and I've reread this multiple times. I also have it on my Kindle, so I can read it on the go. It's awesome. Now, this, on the other hand, this is another kind of Buffy vibe, and it's good, even though I haven't read it in years, because this is my second copy. I loaned it to a friend, and she liked it so much she never gave it back. So when I got in the mood to read it again, I had to buy a new one. So to be fair, I have only read the first 3 of this series. The third one didn't do it as much for me, but it's definitely fun. It's Dampier by Barb and J.C. Hindy. And, oh my, it's so much fun. As you can clearly tell, we've got our super pale, badass chick. We've got our elf and the awesome doggy, because who doesn't love a book with, like, a wolf dog? And it's, we have these two main characters. Basically, she pretends to be badass vampire hunter, and he's, the pale guy with the, magic and fancy moves is the vampire. And they just go, small town to small town, preying on these superstitious villagers. They'll set it up that, Liesel's this evil vampire, and for the right price, she will kick his butt with her, dog. And they do their fancy acrobatics and some herbs and whatnot, and get paid and go meet up later, go to the next town. And their whole plan is, all right, we're gonna fleece enough of these superstitious idiots that we can go settle down somewhere, open a tavern, and not have to deal with this anymore, because they're both basically outcasts from their people. And she's known that she's human, but really she's not. This book is named after what she is, which basically means she's human and so much more. And their, little games catch up with them, because they move to this town that they think they're going to buy this tavern and they're going to settle down and be happy, but their reputation has preceded them, and now he isn't the vampire in town. They've run into a coven of actual vampires that are not happy about these vampire hunters thinking they can move in and run crap. So they end up pissing people off and having to actually fight for their lives and try to destroy an entire coven that is a lot more powerful than, a very nimble elf with some martial arts skills. So, but don't worry, the doggy is safe. This isn't one of those books. The doggy is one of the main characters, and we love him, and he gets to live. So, it's very much fun. We got Marjorie, Lise, and Liesel are our main, characters, and going on vampire slayer hunting, and it's very much, we get some badass fights, we got some very obvious, they're kind of feeling each other, but is anything gonna happen? Because they're also business partners, and you don't want to mix both of those together when you're living on the streets and scamming everybody. So, I love this one. Clearly, the girl that I loaned this to get her hooked into it loved it. You might as well. It definitely has that monster vibe that is perfect for this spooky season. And then this series, I found this at just the right time. I was living in New Mexico when I got an advanced copy of the 5th book in the series and liked it so much that I went and slowly built up my collection to get all 13 of them. And I'm mad that it ended at 13, because there's totally more stuff they could have done. But this one is First Grave on the Right, and it's by Dorinda Jones. And it mostly takes place around Albuquerque and Santa Fe. And I never made it all the way up to Santa Fe, because I was pretty sure my car would die if we tried to take it all the way up there. But I hit Albuquerque several times, and it definitely fits. And what this is we have Charlie Davidson. Yes, you heard that right. That is such a smart alecky name. And I love it. And it's very fitting of her, because she is very I don't care sassy. And she has a very protective supernatural buddy that she got very early on. And we eventually find out who it is, because starting off, she doesn't really know what's going on, but she sees dead people. And yeah, I'm being kind of smart aleck, but yeah, that is her thing. Is her dad was a cop, her uncle was a cop, and all the other cops in Albuquerque were ticked off about how they just seem to super easily solve all these murder cases without really putting in work. And how does they have such good clearance rate? What the heck? And it was because she could talk to the victims and go, yeah, go look over there for the body, and there's the evidence, and that creep did it. He's right over there. That's the weapon that he used. He's trying to hide it. Yeah. And she could tell them everything they needed to do to solve these cases. But nobody was supposed to know that she could talk to the dead. And that, yeah, she almost got into some severe trouble a couple times, and some terrifying, like, smoky black mass would show up with his, sickle, and that'd be the end of that. Like, some guy tried to pull some stuff with her and ended up alive but no longer walking, because somehow they could find no injuries on this guy. Like, there was no cuts, no blood, nothing, but his spine was severed. So he will not be assaulting any more women. And it's like, what the heck, what's happening? Like, freaked her the crap out, because there is some magical, knife-wielding thing that shows up in dark alleys and stuff. So that's freaking terrifying, even if you do talk to, ghosts. And some of them she's actually made friends with, including the one that lives in her apartment. And, refuses to talk to her. That's one of the only ones that she doesn't know his name, doesn't know his backstory. There's just some, like, creepy old Chinese dude that lives in the corner of her apartment. And she occasionally puts a lampshade on him. But she's, like, giving him random names, and he won't respond to any of them. And eventually we do find out why he's hanging out in her apartment and exactly who her, terrifying protector is and how her powers came to be, like, what's up with them. And he is key to that, but it's several books in, so you're gonna have to read it and find out. But it is amazing and sassy, and I love all the ghosts in this, because, like, she's gotten mad at them because they will come into the bathroom and she'll yell at them to quit being pervs when she's trying to take a shower. And she's friends with this one ghost that lives in a, insane asylum, and, former insane asylum. It's this, crumbled, falling down building now, and he knows who's going to die, who's already dead, and he carves their names into this building that's not helping it stay up, because he's scraped away a lot of the mortar and the, all this stuff that it needs to not fall down even more. So, it's like, okay, like, she'll get kind of hints of, if somebody's in and out of consciousness, like, on the brink of death but isn't there yet, she might kind of get flickers of them, and she can go talk to her, crazy ghost and go, hey, are they dead yet? Or, when are they gonna die? Like, he knows these things. He won't always tell her, and he gets really mad when she tries to find out, because he's kind of like a very small child, despite being a grown man when he actually died, because he's from a, way long time ago, back when, they thought electrocuting you would cure you, and that was an acceptable thing. But, and then she's got a, right across the hall from her, that's her secretary, is this chick named Cookie, and, oh, I love her. It's her and her, 13-year-old daughter, and she's off the walls all over the place, but also very maternal, very sweet, always looking out for Charlie, and, trying to keep her out of trouble, but trouble likes to follow her, because, when you see dead people and some, mythical, like, cloudy Grim Reaper is maybe trying to kill you, maybe trying to save your life, and getting spicy in your dreams, you're gonna find yourself in trouble. So, this one is, you have to, like, pick up this whole series. Definitely read it in order. I kind of skipped around and found the books as I could for a while, till I was caught up, and then I could just actually get them when they came out. And then I had to go back once I had them all and reread the series, and it reads much better that way. But I would say pick up anyone you can get your hands on and read them as you can get them, like I did, until you have them all, because you will friggin' love it. I mean, ghosts, sass, later on some spicy, and all the revelations, the attitudes, It's hilarious, it's action-packed, it's murder mysteries, and, I mean, all the covers look really cool. I really want those sandals. I'm kind of sad that they're just for a movie, or, well, for a little book cover. Those are cool. I love skulls, if you couldn't tell. And this one really isn't, you know, scary or Halloweeny, except for that it is, because Harry Potter, how can you not have a get into the Halloween season without classic witches and magic? And most every book has, like, a Halloween party somewhere in it that is far from traditional and way better than anything we're gonna have in the real world. And there's castles and ghosts. If you've only seen the movies, you are missing so much. Just, oh my god. Like, I bet you don't even know about Peeves, the poltergeist. And, dude, you have to, like, see Peeves to really understand how mad you should be at Order of Phoenix and how much they messed that movie up. They left out, like, my favorite scenes. And the twins going bump you and flying off is so much more epic with Peeves in that story. And getting to see how, you know, he played into everything and got onto Umbridge and screwed with her, because, oh, she had it coming. Her and Bellatrix are even worse than Voldemort. And yes, I said his name. I ain't scared of him. Oh, no-nose having self. He can't do nothing. Can't even take out a little kid. So, I mean, come on now. I don't think I really have to sell what this is about unless you're, like, 2 and just have not been in the world ever. There's no way you don't know about this, but it's still, I have to say it, you have to read Harry Potter. It is awesome. And if you get the chance, go to Universal. Like, it's totally worth the motion sickness that I got, because just to go into the rides, even if you don't do the rides, like, I was just walking my kid up here, and now I'm gonna go over there and wait for him to get off. Just to, like, check out the, you know, all the stuff they put in the line while you're walking through, and checking out Nocturne Alley. I wanted to take it all home and find a way to hide there and just live in Hogwarts, because I haven't got to go to, you know, where they filmed it yet. I need a passport and some more money to do that, but it's on the bucket list. But, dude, castles, witches, magic, Halloween parties, monsters, it's awesome. You have to read this. This is totally Halloween vibes. Check out the whole series, watch the movies, read the books afterwards, because then you won't know what they got wrong in the book, so you will enjoy them better. But then go read the books. They're so much fun, and I hope this gives you something to get into. To, you know, one of these will, you know, get you into the Halloween mood and all spooky season. And, you know, of course, there's the classics, you know, Dean Koontz, Stephen King. Anne Rice is kind of, you know, the queen of the damned. I don't think I need to tell you all about those, even though I have told you all about some of them, because they're still cool. I still love reading them, and there are a lot of different books. You need to know which one to start off with, because it sounds like the best one to you. So they have quite a long bibliography between the trio of them. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're like, oh, yep, that one. No, not that one. Okay, yeah, I'm going to run out and go read that one now. Hopefully, you knew about some of these, didn't know about some. And enjoy it. Happy haunting, happy reading, and I will see you soon. Bye!